Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. And before I get this thing started, I just want to say congratulations to the Bowie State University for winning the CIAA championship twice in a row. Two-peating, baby. Final score was 23-7. They played Fayetteville State University down in Salem, Virginia, near Roanoke area. Let me tell you something. It was a good game. It was a good game. Both teams fought hard, but my alma mater came out on top. And shout out to them. Shout out to my former band that I was a part of when I was there, Symphony of Soul, SOS. I love y'all. Yeah, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Matter of fact, I'm so excited right now. I put back on my old band pants, and guess what? Since I've been losing weight and stuff, they still fit. They fit. Everything fit, baby. And of course, you know I was class of 2008, so I'm an old head. So, but again, shout out to my school. But as we get into Dallas Cowboys news, today is Saturday. It was a travel day for the Cowboys. They traveled to Detroit, the Motor City, to play against the Detroit Lions that will not have Matt Stafford. Now, if Matt Stafford were to play in this game, I would actually be afraid of it. But as these two teams come together head to head, my opinions of the game changed drastically because Matt Stafford's not there, and I'm still going to talk about his stats even though he's not playing the game because it all ties into what I'm going to be talking about in the video. So, as we get into it, like I said, Cowboys are traveling today. They should already be there actually, because they're not that far. Wait, well, whatever. They're both still an hour behind me. So that, but the game is going to be at 1:00 Eastern time tomorrow. I always hated those early games because if you lose the game, you got the whole rest of the day to just sit and sulk on the game, and you're just like, I don't want to do this, y'all. I don't want to do this. But if you win, there's more drinking to do. But anywho, as I digress, like I said, it's a 1:00 kickoff. Cowboys are 5-4. The Detroit Lions are 3-5-1. Now their record really doesn't depict on what type of team they are. I guess you could say it does, but it doesn't. Because in so many ways, I feel like they're a better team than their record shows, but they are close to last in defense and things of that nature. Even with them getting Snacks Harrison and having a great dynamic ball hawking cornerback in Darius Slay and things of that nature. But the problem is things just haven't come to fruition for them. So you look at the Cowboys. Our record doesn't depict how good we are either, but again, you still are what your record is. So what you put out on that field and what it is what it is. So with that being said, Detroit Lions are 10th in offense, 26 in total defense, 5th in passing, and 22nd in rushing. Now, all of these numbers are based off of Matt Stafford. Their backup, Jeff Driscoll, he started for Matt Stafford last week. He didn't have a great game, but one thing I will say about him positive is that he is a mobile quarterback, and they're going to do a lot of screenplays. They're going to do a lot of things. They're going to try to emulate what the Vikings did on their offense to try to beat us because that's what the Vikings did to run right through us with Dalvin Cook. Now, their starting running back, Kerryon Johnson, is on IR, so it kind of puts them in a bind. They don't have the running game like the Minnesota Vikings did. So, in my eyes, they're not going to be able to do to us what that team did. But they can still use the screenplays to dump it off to their other running backs that they have and some of the receivers as well that they use on their Wildcat. Now, if they succeed in doing that with their backup mobile quarterback in Jeff Driscoll, it's going to be a hard game for the Cowboys. But when you look at pound for pound, the talent on this team and what they have without Matt Stafford, there's no reason why the Cowboys can't win this game. They should be able to put this Lions team away with no problem. But If you allow them to do on offense like the Vikings did to you, then you're going to have a hard game. Now, if they do struggle in this game, I'm going to question my Cowboys because I'm like, you allowed a team like the Jets, which I think the Lions are better than the Jets, but you allowed the Jets to come in there and beat you because you underestimated them. This is why I tell you guys, it's any given Sunday. You never underestimate any team, but you have to play the right way. You have to come in there and bring your A game every week. I don't care if you're playing a team that you think that you're or that you know that you're better than. Any team can beat any team in the league. That's just how it works. Because just like you get paid, they get paid as well. So you gotta do better with that. Um, Dallas Cowboys come in this game second in total offense, sixth in defense, fourth in passing, and sixth in rushing. Now those numbers went down a little bit as far as our rushing because of last game and things of that nature. But you look at Zeke overall; he's still over 700 yards rushing this season, um, and he's still doing well. Now he's not a home run hitter like he was his rookie year, but you get hit 700, 800 times, throughout these seasons, it starts to wear down in your body. But the good thing is we got a young guy in Tony Pollard, so if the Cowboys play like they should be able to have a healthy mix of these guys to keep Ezekiel fresh throughout the game and throughout the season and for a playoff push. You are tied for first in the division right now with the Eagles at 5-4, but you win that tie right now with the division wins. Um, Cowboys have not beat a team outside of the Miami Dolphins that were outside of the conference. So or outside of the division for that matter. So the Cowboys need to start winning games against teams that are just not in their division. You look at the talent on this team and you look at how the yards per game that we have, over 400 yards per game, first in the league in that. But our record doesn't depict it and the rest of our numbers don't depict it. So what matters is the record at the end of the day. You have to be able to get the right amount of wins to get to the playoffs. There's not going to be a wild card in the NFC this year because our division sucks. And you look at the other NFC divisions, the North, the East, the North, the West, the South. There's teams in here that are going to have two teams going into the playoffs in their division, not ours. There's the wild card's not coming out of the NFC East this year. So to make it to the playoffs, you have to win a division. Period. So we know that the Eagles are playing the Patriots, so they got an uphill battle. But again, you can only rely on yourself. You can only count on yourself, and you better do your job to win. Because again, when you try to rely on other teams to win for you, it's not going to work out in your favor. So just don't even try it. Um, Fun fact: the Lions have not beat the Cowboys since Week 8 of 2013 season. And again, that's even with Matt Stafford on the field. Dak Prescott has 100 plus passer rating in each of the last three games, which is right now is the longest active streak in the NFL. So even though Dak Prescott is killing the numbers, it takes more than Dak Prescott to win these games, as you can see from last game. 497 yards last game, but didn't win the game. The defense kind of let us down last game. They like I said, they let Dalvin Cook run all over us, but we can't harp on the Vikings anymore. We have to get better and move forward. Rob Marinelli and Coach Chris Richard, they need to get this defense together. They're going to have to figure out ways because again, these offenses are figuring out what our defense is doing, which it's very simplistic. They're not doing much to make adjustments, and make changes. You change your personnel, but you're not changing what you're doing on defense. So they're gonna have to figure that out. And everybody knows that our defense is kind of aggressive. So teams are using our aggressiveness against us to do these screenplays because screenplays are how you beat an aggressive defense. When you have aggressive defense that blitz a lot, the screenplays and the read options are how you counteract that. Um, you look at the Lions; they got a couple of weapons over there. Their top receiver right now, Kenny Galloway. Galladay, I'm sorry, Kenny Galladay. He has 8 receiving touchdowns this season, 38 receptions, and 697 yards. Not bad for a team that's been up and down. Now, you look at them with Matt Stafford, the reason why they won the games that they did was because of his arm. They don't really have a running game right now. So that's their Achilles heel. So with the Cowboys knowing that, and with all of us knowing that, you know how to attack this team. Period. You got to get to the quarterback. You got to frustrate the. You have Mark Holmes frustrate, not frustrate. Frush, R, not L. I love you, Mark. You have to frustrate the uh, the quarterback and get him out of his zone and get these turnovers because you can definitely get that. You got to take advantage of it when you can get it. Dak Prescott for the season, he has 2,777 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Um, and I'm going to call Matt Stafford's numbers as well because it's key to the reason why they're in the situation they are now. So Matt Stafford has 2,499 yards, right there with Dak Prescott, 19 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Now, without him in the game, Jeff Driscoll is not going to reach those numbers because they're not the same quarterback. Like I said, he had struggles in the last game, which was his first game starting the season. So maybe with a week of practice and things of that nature under the starting center, he might play a little better. But you have to make sure you can't underestimate it. You still have to make sure that you frustrate this guy and get him out of his zone. Ezekiel Elliott, 178 attempts, 788 yards rushing, and 6 touchdowns. He didn't score last game, but you know, I think that this game he's going to bounce back and he's going to have another 100-yard game and he's going to get it in. And you guys are going to stop talking about Ezekiel Elliott and this and that because I get tired of it. Oh, is he fat? Is he doing this? Look, you got to give other teams credit sometimes for beating you, and that's just what it is. And we have to stop being stubborn, Jason Garrett, and keep running ourselves into a brick wall that's not working. You can't continue to do that. Amari Cooper has 53 receptions for 844 yards and 7 touchdowns. See, Amari Cooper was worth every bit of that first round pick that we traded for last season, and he has helped Dak Prescott get his numbers to where they are, and just a great number one receiver. I don't know many. I can't name another route runner in another receiver in the league that's better than him at route running. I can't think of it. Now, he's a finesse wide receiver. There's better high pointers than him, and there's better all around receivers than him. But when you talk about a good all purpose guy that is a great route runner and as a finesse type of wide receiver that's just going to catch you off guard at any point, I'll take that over anything in this world. Period. Um, Now, as far as injuries go, we did bring up Josh Jones from the practice squad. So those of you guys that were kept asking, what happened to Josh Jones? We picked him up from the Packers. He's a former second round pick for the Packers, and we got him sitting on the practice squad. Well, he's now on a 53-man roster. We put offensive lineman Adam Redmond on IR to make space for him. Jeff Heath is, dealing with that cut that he had on his leg. They had to put 12 stitches in it, so he's dealing with that and his knee and things of that nature. So he's dealing with his injuries. So you got depth for the special teams with Josh Jones, and maybe he could come and help. So Darian Thompson is going to start for Jeff Heath, and Darian Thompson has been playing pretty good in the backup role that he's had, and he's come in and made some plays for this team. So I like his attitude. I really do. So Connor Williams is out. Suafilo is going to be starting for him at left guard. Now, I said this in the last video that I already think that Suafilo is better than Connor Williams. But the Cowboys wanted to start their draft pick. But I feel like we actually only lost one game that Suafilo started, and that's only because he got injured during the game. So every outside of that one game that he got injured in, every game that Suafilo started, we won. Is there a trend here? Just think about that for a minute. Let that marinate. Lyle Collins, he's questionable, and of course, like I said, Jeff Heath is questionable. But I don't. Depending on what they do with Jeff Heath, he may not play at all because you got Josh Jones to help out. So because you need that extra roster spot, they might just make Jeff Heath inactive and let him rest up, which they should do that. If I were them, that's what I would do. um, you look at their defensive line, like I said, they got Snacks Harrison that from the New York Giants on their team. Now you look at their defense and you look at the players they have on their defense, and you start to scratch your head. You're like, why are they letting teams gash them like this? It's like they're not playing to what their talent shows. But I think with the firepower of this offense that we have, the Lions aren't going to be able to hold the Cowboys down. The biggest keys to this game is stop with these slow starts. You have to start out. You got to start out fast. You got to get this team on their heels and just close them out because there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to beat the Lions without Matt Stafford because Driscoll is not a quarterback that's going to sustain this. We should be able to stop their run game because they don't have much of it. Their backups aren't like if they had on Johnson still playing, I would worry a little bit more. But because of the situation with their injuries and things of that nature, unfortunate. But like I said, outside of that, the Lions are a good team. But because of their injuries and things of that nature, I just think that the Cowboys' firepower is going to be too much for them. But please stop with these slow starts. Cowboys got to start fast. They got to finish. Finish. No more of starting slow and then all of a sudden you want to score in the end. I mean that's great and all long as you won the game, but we're just tired of seeing all these slow starts. Because again, if I got to go to the hospital one more time for a heart attack, no, I'm just playing. But the Cowboys will give you a heart attack. It's hard to be a fan for the Dallas Cowboys because it seemed like every damn game is a nail biter, and it shouldn't have to be like that. But for what it is what it is. So that so um I think that the Cowboys are definitely going to win this game. I say something like 27-10. Go ahead and just close it out and get them out of there. Um, I know some of you guys that's going to put your predictions in here. I know some of you guys are going to say it's a blowout. Well, it should be. But when Cowboys have won games and the blowouts that they have had, they kept letting these teams linger around and played around with them for a little bit before they put the nail in the coffin. And you look at that Dolphins game, they kept them around for till halftime. Because I think it was like, what, 13-10 at halftime? And we're sitting here like, it's the Dolphins, guy. What are y'all doing? But like I said, it goes back to the narrative. Any given Sunday, you allow any team in here to have a little bit of confidence, they will beat you. So you can't let that happen. That's all I got for right now. Let me know what you guys think about the Lions game. Kickoff tomorrow 1 p.m. Mark and I will be at the Lucky's bar live streaming the game, so check that out. So it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon. Have a great evening.